Dismissive avoidants live in a tunnel vision. Anything that's outside of that tunnel for them is a risk, it's a threat. Why is that? Okay, well, for us, you see, as anxious as we were able to create an exchange between a carer and a self-abandonment, and over considerate of other people's needs ahead of our own, so that they could show up for us in some kind of functionally dysfunctional way. It worked. We survived, so we try to replicate that same environment as adults in a relationship with someone else who is emotionally unavailable, just like our carers. But the problem is that dismissive avoidant partner that you're connected to does not have the social pressures nor the parental responsibility of showing up for you because they're not your child. So when we try to replicate that same environment with a dismissive who's in tunnel vision, who's not considerate of anyone else's but their own needs because they could not create that exchange that we did as children. No matter how much they tried, they either didn't have the capacity or the carers just had nothing that they wanted. They developed their skill of autonomy as a result. How it feels to be a dismissive in that tunnel, especially when they're emotionally low and things aren't going great for themselves. And they're feeling the pressure of maintaining just the day-to-day. On the outside, they've developed this amazing skill at looking like everything's great. That tends to attract a lot of criticism because it looks like they should be able to show up for us and have enough space emotionally. But that's a facade that they've practiced all their lives to make sure that no one can attack them through the sense of them being vulnerable. The truth is that underneath that surface, all they've got is just enough to get by each day. And if we impose ourselves on the inside of that tunnel, we're going to find ourselves quickly unpopular with them, especially if we're becoming codependent and looking to create an exchange for them to meet our emotional needs in a way that we maybe should be learning to accommodate for ourselves without them. They're amazing at rejecting codependency and showing us maybe how we ought to be growing, and we're amazing, honestly, for them too. Let's not forget what we bring to the relationship, provided they see our worth. See, when they begin to broaden that tunnel to accommodate us, one thing and another thing is both consistent. One is that we've begun to learn to meet our own needs so that we're safer for them to accommodate. And two, they're starting to broaden that tunnel to accommodate our needs in co-regulation. Now, if we don't see both of those things happening, then we see a problem. It's not so much the attachment style that we should be looking at, but it's the improvement within both of our growths and healing journeys with our attachment styles as individuals and what we bring to the relationship that way. So what I'd encourage for anyone who's anxious is to stop getting upset at a dismissive for not having skills that they never learned as a child. Just because you learned them doesn't mean they did. And how it feels for you when they dismiss you is the same emotional response that they have when you impose yourself on them and needs that you ought to be meeting yourself. So just imagine that horrible feeling when they've discarded you, that feeling of abandonment, but apply it to them in a way that exists for them when you impose yourself on them when they don't know how to handle your emotional coerciveness. It's a horrible feeling, I can tell you. Please just leave me alone. I need my space. Right now, I'm on my emotional limit, and even though on the outside I look like I'm doing okay, I'm really not. That's what they would tell you if they had the energy to do it, if they felt like that vulnerability was safe. Eventually, if you can become that safe space for them, they'll tell you that's the truth. Maybe they have already. The message I have for you right now is allow your dismissive love of your life, your romantic interest, your partner, to have that tunnel. Leave them alone. Meet your own needs, then see what they do. Because they will love you, but they won't know how to reach you unless you are able to be accommodated inside that tunnel without distracting them. Leave them with your own personal growth. Take yourself away from them, give yourself space and autonomy so that you know how to meet your own needs. And they may come looking for you because you're no longer that threat on the outside of their tunnel.